Hello and welcome to your daily sports update for March the 6th, 2024. My name is Lewis. What we like to do is to cover your basic information for the sports from last night and daytime as well, and hopefully help you as you go through your day to have some basic information. As I call it, the water cooler talk. I may change the name of the show to the water cooler talk, but until then, we'll stick with daily sports update. Starting with some simple tennis news. Nice simple. Rafa Nadal has withdrawn from the BNP Paribas Open on the eve of his first round match. It's one of the more popular tournaments there at Indian Wells. He said he didn't find himself ready to play. And so the one reason I bring it up is that he's only played 12 official matches since the 2022 U.S. Open. And so hoping that we haven't seen the end of Rafa Nadal playing on there, because he's definitely been one of the best of my lifetime, and definitely want to see him come out ending on a really strong note. In NFL news, there were a lot of releases that were done throughout. I'll mention a couple of them here. A couple signings too. Now, we mentioned yesterday about the Broncos. It might have been yesterday, it might have been the day before, about the Broncos with accepting one of the biggest dead cap hits in announcing that they're going to release Russell Wilson at the beginning of the new league year. Well, they have given him permission to speak with teams and to prepare for what life will be like afterward. He would be starting this coming season. The extension that was given to him when he was traded to the Broncos. So they'll basically take on an $85 million hit in dead money over the next 2 seasons over the release. So hopefully we'll see what happens. Some team's going to get a bargain on what was at one point a surefire first ballot Hall of Famer. Hopefully he can have some positives in his career and get back to being that strong quarterback that he was before. Buffalo releasing 3 players. They're releasing cornerback Tre'Davious White. I know he was a former All-Pro, or former Pro Bowler too, I should say. Safety Jordan Poyer and center Mitch Morse. They've also released wide receiver Deontay Hardy and special teamer Siren Neal. Now, wasn't going to mention all the different names, but in total, they'll save the team almost $26 million, 25.96 to be exact. So we'll see where those guys end up. I know a couple of them won't be out there long. And then, speaking of something positive, Mitch Trubisky, who was released by the Steelers, are actually signing, or he's actually going to be signed to back up Josh Allen in Buffalo. So although we just talked about all the people Buffalo released, they got one person coming back. And then tight end Zach Ertz signed a 1-year deal with the Washington Commanders. It'll be nice to see him do well and get back out there on the field. In men's top 25 action, there were a lot of games. University of Houston, the number 1 team in the nation, avoids an upset on the road with a 67-59 win over UCF. LJ Cryer scored 25 points for Houston. UConn, number 2 in the nation, with a big win over number 8 Marquette, 74-67. It's UConn's first top 25 road win in a decade. Tennessee, number 4 in the nation, beat number 17 South Carolina in South Carolina, 66-59. Dalton Knecht scored 26 points for Tennessee. Number 6, Iowa State wins at home against BYU, number 20 in the nation. Iowa State improves to 24-6, 13-4 in conference. Final score was 68-63. Number 15, Kentucky wins at home against Vanderbilt, 93-77. in their last home game of the season. And Utah State, number 22 in the nation, defeats San Jose State 90-70. And with that, Utah State, let's see if I see this right, Utah State actually clinches a share of the Mountain West Conference regular season title. They can claim their first outright regular season conference title with a win Saturday against New Mexico, which works well for their new first-time coach, Danny Sprinkle. So good luck to them. And that's your top 25 for men's college basketball. On the women's side, a little bit less. Number 18, Colorado, wins at home against Oregon 79-30. And number 22, Utah, wins at home against Arizona State 71-60. Both of those are actually Pac-12 first-round tournament games. So we're getting ready for your tournament challenges. And I think what I'll do is, for whatever it's worth, I'll create a bracket challenge for both the women and the men's side. And just for the fun of it, see how people do. So anyway, again, those are your two top 25 college basketball games. On the ice, there were 3 hockey games. There's no rankings yet. In overtime, the Toronto Maple Leafs win at home 2-1 against the Buffalo Sabres. Austin Matthews scored his 54th goal of the season to win that game. Colorado Avalanche wins 7-2 at home against the Red Wings. And the Ducks win 2-1 at home against the Senators. Forgive me. You got the yawns kicking in. I'm trying not to. But you got just those 3 games there. Now, in the NBA, of course, I spend a little more time on the NBA here. A little bit easier for me to do some talking on these. And I've got a little more up-to-date knowledge on these than I do other sports. Orlando continues their winning ways with a 119-109 win over the Wizards. It's the Wizards' 16th straight loss. Magic were led in scoring by Franz Wagner, who scored 25 points. Paolo Banchero added 25 points, 10 assists, and 6 rebounds. For Washington, they were led in scoring by Jordan Poole off the bench, who scored 26 points. Kyle Kuzma added 25. Wasn't enough, and Orlando completes the sweep of the regular season with a 119-109 win over the Wizards. The Cavaliers follow up their big win against the Celtics by losing on the road in Atlanta 112-101. The Hawks were led in scoring by, I got to get my names right, Bogdan Bogdanovic, who had 23 points and 6 assists, and Sadiq Bey, who also had 23 points. DeJounte Murray poured in 18 with 9 assists, and DeAndre Hunter had 17. For the Cleveland Cavaliers, they were led in scoring by Jarrett Allen, who had 18 points and 19 rebounds. They also got 17 points from Isaac Okoro, and they got 15 points from Darius Garland. Still no Donovan Mitchell for the game. And the hero of the Celtics game, Dean Wade, was 3 of 8, including 1 of 6 from 3 for 9 points. Again, Atlanta taking advantage of maybe a tired or still emotional Hawks team. They win still emotional Cavs team, win 112-101. The Memphis Grizzlies with a big 115-109 win in Philadelphia to give the Sixers yet another loss. The Grizzlies were led in scoring by Jaren Jackson, who had 30 points, added in 11 rebounds. They also got 19 off the bench from Jake LaRavia. Got to get my names right. And Vince Williams Jr. and Santi Aldama each had 17 points. Williams had 9 assists, Aldama 7 assists to help lead the Grizzlies to victory. For the Sixers, they were led in scoring by Kelly Oubre, who had 25 points off the bench. They got 17 from Paul Reed, who also had 11 rebounds, and they got 16 from Cam Payne. Still no Joel Embiid playing, and at this point, no Tyrese Maxey playing either. So again, big win for the Grizzlies, 115-109. The Clippers win on the road in Houston, 122-116. Clippers were led in scoring by, of course, Kawhi Leonard, who had 28 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. They also got 21 each from James Harden and from Paul George for that big win. For the Rockets, they were led in scoring by Al Sengun, who had 23 points, 19 rebounds, 14 assists for another triple-double for him, as they had 6 players scoring double figures. Jabari Smith Jr. added in 19, but it wasn't enough. Clippers with a big road win, improving to 40-21 on the season. The Bulls get their 30th win of the season with a 119-117 win over the Utah Jazz. There it is. Sorry, my system's coming up a little slow here. For the Bulls, DeMar DeRozan had 29 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. Kobe White added 25, and Nikola Vucevic had 23 points and 12 rebounds. For the Jazz, they got 25 points from John Collins. He also had 13 rebounds. They also got 24 points from Colin Sexton. And here's a name I haven't said all season. Bryce Sensabaugh had 15 points, 12 rebounds. Wasn't enough. Bulls with a 2-point victory. The Oklahoma City Thunder with a big win on the road against the Trailblazers, 128-120. The reason it's big is it keeps their standing in the playoffs, and that's why I mentioned it that way. They got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander scoring 37 points. They also got Jalen Williams scoring 31, and Chet Holmgren, 21 points, 14 rebounds. For the Trailblazers, they did have 6 players in double figures, led by Anthony Simons, who had 29 points. They got 20 from Jeremy Grant, and they also got 16 off the bench from Matisse Thybulle and in the lineup from Duop Reith, both scoring 16 points as well, but again, not enough. Portland loses 128-120. Oklahoma City improves to 43-19. The Sacramento Kings with a big win to keep their playoffs hope going strong and to stay ahead of the Lakers. 130-120 over said Lakers. De'Aaron Fox ties his career high with 44 points. He shot 19 of 32 from the field. They also got 26 points off the bench from Malik Monk for that big victory. Domantas Sabonis with a yet another triple-double, 16 points, 20 rebounds, 12 assists. For the Lakers, they got 31 points from LeBron James, who also had 13 assists. They also got 29 from Rui Hachimura. And they got a double-double from Anthony Davis, 14 points, 11 rebounds. But it wasn't enough. The Kings with a 130-120 victory over the Lakers. Sacramento improves to 35-26. Lakers fall to 34-30. And then one last game, what was thought to be the game of the night. The Milwaukee Bucks go up against the Golden State Warriors. This was Golden State's first game since the blowout against the Celtics. And they ended the Bucks' 6-game winning streak by winning 125-90. Golden State got 29 points from Steph Curry, who also had 8 rebounds and 5 assists. They also got 20 points from Jonathan Kuminga, and they got 15 off the bench from Trace Jackson Davis. For the Bucks, they got the standard 23 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists from Giannis Antetokounmpo, and they got 20 points from Dame Lillard. But they only had, and they got 20 points from Bobby Portis off the bench. I knew there was another number I was missing. No one else had double digits for the team. So in the end, Golden State proves to 33-28 with a 125-90 victory over your Milwaukee Bucks. Now, again, talking about the standings, don't want to spend too much time on this since we talked a little bit about it yesterday. But as the standings are right now, Your last four in on the Western Conference side would be 7 is the Kings, 8 is Dallas, 9 is Golden State, and 10th are the Lakers. Now, there's only a 3-game difference between 10th and the 6th place Phoenix Suns, so nothing is set in concrete there. Anyway, that is your sports update for March the 6th, 2024. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Please feel free to like and subscribe. Hopefully it does what it's intended to do. Anyway, have yourself a blessed day. Until tomorrow, we will talk to you later.